Howdy folks, and I hope you've got a good supply of bubblegum wherever you are in collecting land. And welcome back to the channel for another 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. And today Mr. Go Figure is feeling particularly nostalgic. Not only is it his birthday, but we will be looking at a figure that Mr. Go Figure sent to himself as his annual birthday gift to self. So we're going to be getting up close and personal with Mondo's take on the late great Roddy Piper as John Nada from John Carpenters' 1988 seminal masterpiece, They Live. Usual format folks, we'll have a look at the box, then the accessories, then it'll be out with the figure itself, and we'll be wrapping the whole thing up with the usual showcase at the end. But before we dive in, as always, I would like to send the usual Cable 54 size shout out to everyone who supported the channel. And please drop a like and hype on this video as it helps other people find Go Figure. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell notification icon so you're sure not to miss any of the 1/6 scale news, reviews, previews, showcases and all that other good stuff that we've got coming up. So what can I say about They Live with its sly take on 80s Reaganomics? John Carpenters on amazing form, Roddy Piper and Keith David are perfectly cast, superb score, great script, and a fist fight that would go down in the annals of Hollywood history. They all add up to a stunning movie in my opinion. If you haven't seen it, seek it out at the earliest opportunity. But enough of my gushing, onto the box. Let's stop it from spinning and have a close-up look. And a big box it is too. And I've got to say, Mondo's presentation is exceptionally good. The John Carpenter The Thing figure that they released recently, which has been reviewed on the channel. Check out the homepage if you're wanting to see a full review of that. The Kurt Russell McCready figure had some superb packaging, and I think Mondo have gone all in here as well. What you've got is sort of this side slipcover design, but on the front here you've got this plastic cover and it says consume, money is your god, consume. Now those who've seen the film will know all this subliminal stuff that goes on when you put the glasses on and it's revealed. And I think Mondo have captured it beautifully in this design, and it's lenticular as well, sort of a lenticular design. And if the light's catching that, you can see when that lettering disappears, what you're greeted with is the image from the movie poster itself. There's an up-close shot of the figure, or Rowdy's face, and he's got the glasses on there, and the reflection of the aliens revealed. It says They Live at the bottom there, which disappears when the light catches it. On the side, it says Submit. On this side, it's done like a VHS video, which is great to see. You've got the sticker there. Well, it's not a sticker, it's just printed on, but it says They Live, John Carpenter's 1/6 scale figure. 1/6 scale figure at the bottom there. Flip it round the back. Once again, consume, money is your god, consume. A shot of the glasses there as well. On the bottom, you have got conform as well. I really do like this packaging. So let's get it out of the slip cover when you slide it off. And this is a brand new figure, literally just come through the door. Let's put this box to one side and take a look at the inner box. And once again, that VHS video theme is continued on the inside. Tempted to stand it up that way. It says They Live in the center, like the sticker from a VHS video. The wrong man just woke up. Universal, obviously this is a fully licensed product. Yeah, and the whole thing just done like a videotape. Even round the back here, you've got, let's flip this over. You've got all the credits and of everybody involved, and the warnings as well. Don't piss this figure off, cause Mama don't like tattletales. You've even got the reels for the videotape there as well. Just really, really nicely done. And then this box flips open. You have a piece of tissue paper covering up the clear plastic window, which covers the figure itself. This is the timed edition. And you've got the swap out head sculpt and the extra glasses that come with the timed edition. And on the inside cover there, it says Submit and Consume. Just a really, really nice packaging here from Mondo. Top notch. So that's the box. So without further ado, let's crack the seals open on this guy, dive down onto the table and have a look at all the accessories that you get with your John Nada figure. Okay folks, so seals broken, accessories out, what do you get with your John Nada figure? Not a huge amount, but we'll take a look at what you do get. Let's start with the hands, you know, Mr. Go Figure and his strange hands thing. There is a pair of hands already on the figure, we've got another 4 here, so there are 3 pairs of hands in total. Let's have a look at the quality, and I'm going to say this a number of times in this review. We've got to remember here, what we are looking at from Mondo is a price point. These don't come in at the price of, say, an art figure or a Hot Toys figure, so I think that's going to be reflected a little bit here. So we're judging this thing as a whole, but the hands themselves, straight away, I think are pretty good. The sculpting's very nice. You've got bone work going on in there, reddening at the knuckles, the usual story, sculpted in fingernails. They haven't been painted, but the sculpting's there, creasing in the palms. And overall, yeah, pretty good hands. Not the best hands I've ever seen. You've got this gripping hand, you have another weapon holding hand here, both right and left for the guns that he carries, another gripping hand here. I'm going to assume that's for the walkie-talkie or the baton. But yeah, for the price point, the paint application is very good, the sculpting is very good as well. And what I do like about Mondo hands is each one has got its own individual wrist peg. Great, little things like that. It takes the ball ache out of swapping the wrist pegs out. So yeah, each one's got their own, which is great to see. Let's do the flexibility test. It's a hard one, this. Yeah, you are dealing with very, very hard plastic here. There's a little bit of give going on in there. So it could get interesting when introducing the other accessories, but that's the hands. Let's pop those to one side. What else do you get? Let's take a look at the weapons. You get the 12 gauge police shotgun that he pinches, 1 piece of sculpted plastic, pretty nicely done. It's not the most intricate of sculpt on a 12 gauge I've ever seen, but it's pretty nicely done. There's brown paint on the stock there and on the slide-in section to give it that wood look. There's the black paint applications, and we've got some silver dry brushing on there to give it that slightly weathered look. No cocking action here, no trigger action or anything like that, but overall, yeah, it is a passable, pretty well done 12 gauge. So that's the 12 gauge. You also get the 2 revolvers. You get the silver one and the black one, pretty much identical. These just the different paint applications. Obviously 1 silver, 1 black. It's not the best sculpt I've ever seen of this kind of handgun, but it's pretty good. You've got a revolving chamber going on in there, no cocking action, no trigger action there, but overall it's pretty good. I'm liking the sort of the brass type, copper type effect on the studs on the handle there, and yeah, it's a passable pair of handguns, and it's great to see that the barrels have been drilled out on these 2 handguns. Is it the same on the shotgun? Let's double check. Yes, it is. So often these days we see 6-scale figures where the plug or the original mold and the plastic has still been left in the end of the barrel there, and when you've got a figure posed holding that weapon and pointing it forwards, I just think it ruins the well, it doesn't ruin it, but it can spoil the aesthetic. So having those bored out barrels, I think it's a great idea. So yeah, those are the guns. Let's take a look at the other weapon. You get a police baton that he arrests from one of the officers. 1 piece of sculpted plastic, black paint application. Really, nothing too fussy going on here, but it does the job. So that's the baton. You get the police walkie-talkie as well, and it comes with its own little pouch here, so it can fit on the belt. You do get the full police belt with this figure, but that's already on the figure. We'll take a look at that when we bring it out. But yeah, this is a sort of soft plastic, the sculpt on the pouch itself. You've got this silver detailing on the bottom here. It's got one of those friction fasteners that you just pop in and out if you wanted to put the walkie-talkie in and keep it secure. And it's got a plastic loop on the back here if you're wanting to put it onto the belt as well. The walkie-talkie itself, 1 piece of sculpted plastic. It's not too detailed. The paint application's a little bit basic here, but overall it does the job. You've got this sort of wash silver colour over the top here, and there's some darker colours on there just to pick out the details, some darker washes as well, and an aerial on top and the buttons as well. So yeah, it's not say, you know, Hot Toy standards, but it's more than passable as the walkie-talkie that he uses in the movie. What else do you get? you get the bubblegum, the legendary bubblegum. It's just a little cardboard box here. It says bubblegum on the front. From that now legendary scene that Roddy Piper improvised in the bank sequence, and he referenced bubblegum. We don't actually see it in the film, but I think it's a great little inclusion and a great little nod to that improvised scene in the bank there. So yeah, you get the bubblegum. You get 3 pairs of glasses. Now, the all-important glasses. We will start with this pair. Now, this pair have loops over the back to go over the ears. Now, the way that these glasses actually attach to the figure, it's these ones with the slightly shorter arms here, which actually fit over the ears and tuck under the hair itself. So I'm assuming these pair are for carrying or for use in the display, if you're wanting to use it that way. But yeah, sculpted plastic, pretty basic here. There's no, although the lenses are black and that is screen accurate, the shape is pretty much screen accurate. They were quite big. They were, without actually pulling up a still of the glasses themselves, my memory says, yeah, these are pretty accurate. The frames might be a little thick, but they were in the film. But overall, yeah, pretty basic, but they do the job. The shape's right and the sculpt's pretty good. And you get 1 pair with arms and the 2 pairs without that you can wear. And once again, they're pretty much identical to the arm pair, just minus the loop at the back there, so you can fit it over the head sculpt. Probably the most notable one is this, and these are my favourite. These are the ones that echo the movie poster, where he's just sliding them off his face, and you can see the reflection of the alien in the lenses there, and they're just, I'm going to assume that they're stickers that they've just put over the top here, Mondo, but it does the job, and I think it looks really, really effective, and I think I will probably be using these in the display, if not immediately, then at some point. So yeah, nice inclusion with those glasses. I believe it's this pair that are unique to the timed edition. So that's the glasses. You get a stand. Now, it's a pretty basic stand as far as 6 scale figures go. It's just a piece of plastic, basically. It's a circle, not much going on here, not a lot to write home about. There's a little dint at the back there for your standard issue crotch grabber, which slots into place, and that's pretty much it. I won't be using this in the display. I'll probably be using a diorama or a semi-diorama of some description, but yeah, nice inclusion, if a little unimaginative, but that's the stand and the base. So the last piece you get, now I believe that this is actually exclusive to the timed edition, is this swap out head sculpt, the what if swap out head sculpt. What if John Carpenter was actually one of the aliens as well? And I really, really like this idea. The actual head sculpt itself, it is on point for the aliens. That blue effect going on. You've got that flesh sort of showing underneath there in those deep reds. You've got those bulging eyes with those sort of star effect pupils going on. The black nose, the exposed teeth. Once again, I'm going to say, you know, remember the price point here. We are not looking, as I say, at a high-end figure here, more a medium figure. But yeah, I think the sculpt of the face itself, very, very well done. Paint applications could be a little bit more 4K, shall we say? They're a little bit soft in places, but overall, I'm liking that a lot. The hair, now the hair is a soft plastic. And yeah, pretty well done. You've got individual strands in there. The paint applications are a little on the basic side. Not a vast amount of tonal change in there, maybe 2 or 3 different paint applications to pick out the hair itself, but the style is right. It's most certainly Roddy Piper's style there. I think the paint applications are perhaps what let this hair down a little bit. I would have probably liked to have seen included, rather than the what if alien head sculpt, maybe an angry head sculpt, a fighty head sculpt of Roddy Piper for the display as well. But this will do. I think it's a nice inclusion. And yeah, overall, hair's pretty well done. And soft at the bottom here, so it's not going to damage the figure too much when you swap their head sculpts out. So yeah, that's the what if head sculpt. So those are your accessories. So without further ado, let's bring out Mr. Carpenter himself. Let's get him onto that stand, onto the turntable, and have a close-up look at him. Okay folks, so here he is. It's Roddy Piper himself, aka John Carpenter, straight out of the box, straight onto the stand and turntable. First impressions. I've got to say, first impressions are very, very good indeed. The proportions look right. They've caught that bulk and that size of the former wrestler, and the outfit itself looks on point and screen accurate. Yeah, the shirt looks correct. The jeans look good. Overall, yeah, very, very good first impressions. But let's do as we always do. Let's stop him from spinning and get up close and personal with him. This stand, yeah, I've got to say, it's a nice inclusion, but as I mentioned, won't be using that in the display, and I won't be using it in the showcase at the end either. We'll be using something a little bit different, but yeah, let's get him off that stand and start at the bottom as we always do. I'll start with these feet, the boots, all one piece of sculpted plastic. They are screen accurate as far as I can tell. That's the style and the colour. You've got sculpted in stitch work there, you've got creasing sculpted in as well. They go up above the jeans there. They were ankle boots, and you've got the creasing in the back. There's a little bit of weathering on there, sculpted in laces. You've got sculpted in tread on the bottom there. It says Mondo, and there's some weathering on that tread as well, which is nice to see. Articulation, not an awful lot going on here because these are solid plastic ankle boots. So yeah, we're not seeing a huge amount of movement there. A decent amount of left and right, but no real forward and backward movement. That is going to limit the posing of this figure. But then again, it's not one for hugely dynamic posing, this figure. It's more of a sort of how can I say this? It's more imposing with just having him stood there. But yeah, you're going to be limited in that foot movement. And another thing, straight out of the box, you notice about this figure is the heft. He's a heavy chap. Now, he's made out of a very, very hard plastic, and I think that is what's giving him his bulk, not just his size, but the actual plastic that Mondo have used here. Be interesting to see how that affects overall articulation. But let's move up. The jeans. Now, to me, those jeans are the right colour, that light blue. I think the stitch work looks excellent. They've done that stitch work in that sort of gold coloured cotton there, which I think looks great and is screen accurate. Yeah, excellent stitch work. There are no threads hanging down, no real issues going on there. And overall, yeah, the fit and the fall of those jeans is screen accurate. You've got the bulk in the legs there. And yeah, I think they've done a cracking job with the jeans here, Mondo. Let's check the articulation of the knees. Now, yeah, it looks like we've got a double joint there. That knee, yeah, there's a double joint underneath those jeans. But we're only going back. I think it'll probably go further than that, but I'm not going to push it anymore. Yeah, the articulation at the knee at least is very, very good, but it probably, as I say, will probably go further than that, but I'm not going to chance my arm. So good articulation at the knees. Do we have any swivel at the thigh? No thigh swivel here. How about now? This is where it gets interesting. This is my first time with this figure, and it doesn't look like we've got an awful lot of movement in the hip area. This is interesting. The legs don't seem to want to move. Now, they don't want to open up, and they're not moving forward or backwards either. That's a bit of a letdown for an action figure. I would have liked to have seen some articulation at the top of those legs and in the waist area. Yeah, real shame that. But as you can see here, I mean, I'm not going to force this, but there's literally no movement going on there at all, or very little, and none whatsoever at the top of those legs. So swinging those legs, I mean, it's giving a little, whether this is super stiff because it's brand new and straight out of the box, but I am not going to push that. I don't want this body snapping. With it being a hard plastic, they do have a tendency to snap a lot more easily than the slightly softer plastics. So yeah, bit of a disappointment there. But the crotch area of those jeans, very nicely done. Stitch work is very good, as are the loops, the belt loops on the top of the jeans there, and the pockets bringing around the back. Once again, pockets are nicely done. Gold stitch work is continued there. It's a little bit rough in places if the camera's catching this. You can see there at the top of that pocket there, and around the bottom of those belt loops. But overall, for the price point, I think they've done a good job. You've even got the patch on the back of the jeans themselves. Belt going on here now. I'm pretty sure this belt is going to be a man-made imitation leather. We're going to be looking at something like pleather here, so its lifespan may very well be limited, but the belt itself is nicely done. There is a pattern in there if the light's catching that. The buckle feels like plastic. It is not cold to the touch. Overall, yeah, the detailing is pretty good on that belt. And on that belt you have the gun holster. Now it looks like those could be magnets there, unless I'm very much mistaken. Are there magnets in these pistols? Well, let's find out. I'm going to pop one in and see. Probably not. Whether those are magnets at all is probably open to debate. They might just be clips there for the to add that sort of authenticity to the holster itself. Doesn't look like it's a magnet, but yeah. The holster itself, sculpted plastic. You've got sculpted in sort of seam work going on in there, and there's weathering as well with black and brown paint applications, and it moves on that belt quite freely. Moving up to the chest area, the all-important shirt and chest. Now let's just check the articulation on the waist area as well. Once again here, we are looking at little or no movement. There's no ab crunch here. There is no real twist side to side. Yeah, a bit of a disappointment that. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more movement there from this figure, but yeah, I'm not going to force it. But yeah, so pretty much from the knees up, probably to the arms, I would imagine, you've got little or no movement. Yeah, and the chest is solid as well, so there's no joint underneath the chest area. Bit disappointing that, but we will soldier on. The shirt itself, now, this check shirt looks screen accurate to me. They've done a good job with the stitch work. That collar's a little bit flyaway, but that can be fussed down. The checking is right with that blue and green sort of colours going on in there. The colour scheme is right. The check is pretty much in proportion. The shirt itself, yeah, how can I put this? It's not the most expensive of materials, but once again, I'm going to refer back to the price point here. The fit though is very nice. It's got the rolled up sleeves there. I am not seeing any, let's zip him round and have a look at the back here. We've got a little bit of a loose thread there, but nothing too significant. Overall, the stitch work is very good. And I think they've caught the proportions of Roddy Piper's chest very, very nicely there. You can see that in the back. I have seen this film lots and lots of times, and yeah, I'm pretty pleased with the proportions here. As I say, not the most expensive of materials in that shirt, but it does the job. Now the collar itself, as I say, is a little bit flyaway here. I think that's probably just down to its thickness, so yeah, some futzing will sort that out. We have, now I was going to say we've got snaps underneath this shirt, but it doesn't look that way. What we've got there, there could be snaps. I'm going to just stick my finger in there just to see. Yeah, it looks like snaps. So you could take this shirt off if you wanted to. I'm not going to do that. That's not a look that I want to go for in the display, but yeah, it's an option if you want to go for it. So let's take a look at these arms. Let's check the articulation out first. That's quite basic. There's no butterfly joint going on there, so there's no sort of forward or backward movement. What you've got is, well, it's probably limited by this this police belt that he's got over his shoulder, but yeah, not the best. Probably that's about the maximum forward and backward movement you've got. Let's try the out to the side. That's pretty good. Yeah, you'll get them straight out at the sides there. Let's check the elbow. The elbow, that's very, very stiff, but yeah, you've got some movement in there. You're never going to get that arm up to his face, because I can feel through this shirt here the sculpted in muscularity of those biceps and triceps. So he's a chunky monkey, this guy. So yeah, perhaps not going to get the range of arm motion out of there that you'd see in other figures. But these are the other hands that we mentioned in the accessory section. Two-fisted hands. It's good to see that Mondo have gone for some skin texturing and tones on these exposed forearms as well. So often, historically, we have seen nothing on there, and it's just the original plastic, and it can be quite jarring. I think they could have gone a little bit further to actually hiding these ball joints. They're a little bit on the ugly side. I would like to have seen these fitting a bit more snugly. Maybe see Mondo use a smaller ball joint here, so that and then extend maybe the wrist area of either the body or the hands themselves to cover up that ball joint a little bit. But it is what it is. They are a tad on the ugly side, but I suppose seamless arms here was probably out of the budget. Yeah, it is what it is. That police belt that he's got over his shoulder, and now once again that feels like a pleather to me, but it's pretty nicely done. You have the strapping, obviously, then you've got this section here which looks like it holds the either the shotgun shells or cartridges for the handgun. We've got plastic buckles at the back here. Looks like it's a snap fix going on here, a friction snap fix, so you can take this off if you want to. I like this look. I like him for the fully tooled up look, and that's something I'm going to be going for in the display, so I'm leaving that on for the time being. And I think you can actually put the radio either on this belt or on this belt as well, or have him holding it. Onto the head sculpt. Right then, let's get this guy in as close as we can. Now, I've got to say, my last Mondo piece, as I mentioned at the top there, was the Kurt Russell McCready, and I was a little bit disappointed with that head sculpt. Yes, we are working to a price point, but it was a little bit too soft for me, and it didn't quite work. I think this one is a lot better. I think they've captured the likeness here of Roddy Piper really, really well. The skin tones, the texturing, there is quite a rough hue to his skin tones here, which doesn't quite match the neck area. I think it could have been slightly smoother. I think they've just overdone it ever so slightly with the cragginess. However, it's unmistakably Roddy Piper, unmistakably John Carpenter. That fullness of the face, really nicely done. You've got a hint of 5 o'clock shadow going on there, creasing in the forehead, creasing at the temples, lips are really nicely done, and the eyes, very, very well done indeed. Very nice and glassy, the right colour, and overall, yeah, I think they've done a very, very good job here. The hair, now this is a slightly different colour to the What If head sculpt. I'm preferring this. Obviously, this is more accurate. The hair on the What If has got that yellow hue to it, almost that blonde hue. This is far more in keeping with Rowdy as he appeared in the film. More browns going on here. Yes, it's not the best hair sculpt in the world, but I think they've got the style just right with that now legendary mullet. There are individual strands picked out. It's not 4K, but it's very good. And the paint applications are not half bad. There could be more tonal changes in there, but overall they've caught the style, they've caught the look. You've got that lift just above the ears, at the temples there, so you can slot those glasses in and out. If you're wanting to swap him up in the display, let's take a quick look around the back. Once again, it's soft at the back here, this hair, so you're going to minimize the risk of damage to this check shirt. So yeah, I am suitably impressed with that head sculpt. I think at this price point, I think Mondo have done a very, very good job there. So let's get him back onto that stand, onto the turntable, and go in for a final verdict. Okay folks, so John Carpenter is all tooled up and it's time for a final verdict on this guy. Let's start with the good stuff. The proportions, absolutely excellent. They've caught the frame, the muscularity, the build of Roddy Piper really, really well. The clothing, very, very good. Screen accuracy is there, the proportions are right. The clothing itself, the stitch work is very good. It might not be the best materials in the world, but they've done a great job, Mondo, here with the what was at hand, and they've given us a very, very screen accurate costume. The checks on those shirts, very nice. The material itself, a little bit off, but overall, I think the screen accuracy is there, the proportions are right, the build is right, and that head sculpt, yeah, a very, very good head sculpt of Roddy Piper. I think, yeah, it's an excellent head sculpt, and I'm going to put my neck on the chopping block here, and I'm going to say I think that is a superior head sculpt to the Kurt Russell, the McCready Kurt Russell that they gave us recently from The Thing. I even like this swap out formaldehyde face head sculpt, although I can see this one being stripped of its hair, a little bit of a repaint, and a kit bash of one of the aliens is in order with this head sculpt. But yeah, I do like it as it stands. So yeah, accessories, very nice. You've got a wide variety of stuff to go at there, so accessories on point as well. That's the good stuff. The downsides to this figure, and there are a few. Number one, the hard plastic that Mondo have used in this body. One of the hands, the wrist peg on the hand broke first time out of the box, you are going to need a hairdryer or hot water here for swapping out these hands and the accessories as well. Getting that gun in his hand without the use of a hairdryer is damn near impossible. So maybe the plastic that Mondo used here could have been a little bit softer and a little bit less brittle. And that brings me on to articulation, probably one of the biggest downsides on this figure. You saw for yourself, the movement in that waist area, the top of those legs is very, very limited. This is about as far as I am comfortable splaying these legs. And also no movement at the waist as well, so it really does limit the poses that you're capable of doing here, which is a shame, because after all it is an action figure, so we should be able to put it in action poses. So yeah, articulation limited. Other downsides, the materials used in that shirt aren't the best in the world, but we've already said that regarding the price point as well. The glasses, once they're on the face itself, yes, they were quite large in the movie, but I think the frames are just a little bit oversized. I shall bring a pair in here so you can see them. I've got a pair in the hand as well. Now, you can't really see it when it's not on the face, but when you get these glasses onto the face, as you can see there, it's not the size on the face because they were big on the face. It's the actual thickness of the frames is a little bit off. But all those things taken into consideration, we need a final verdict on this guy and a score. Now, this is a really, really difficult one for Mr. Go figure because it's a figure I have been after since I started collecting way back in the day. Always wanted this figure in this collection. I'm going to try not to let that influence too much the score I give this piece, but taking into account the downsides, now the plus side's great, head sculpt, good proportions, decent clothing, good accessories, that base, we won't talk about that stand, it's a bit of an afterthought, but at least it's there. So weighing up the good sides with the downsides, not an easy task. I am hovering somewhere between a 7 and a 7.5 on this figure. The vast majority of that 7.5 is going to that excellent head sculpt. I think it is really, really a very, very good head sculpt, but there are other niggles there. I wanted to give this piece more because I am so attached to the character. I so love the film. I think it's a classic from John Carpenter. And I think this is a worthy tribute to Mr. Piper and Mr. Carpenter. However, it's not without its flaws. So let's settle with a... Oh, I'm feeling generous, it's my birthday. Let's go with a 7.5. Yeah, so there you have it, folks. Mondo's take on John Carpenter from They Live gets a 7.5. But what are your thoughts on this figure? Am I scoring this too high? I think there are going to be people out there who think I am. But remember the price point, folks. But yeah, your take on this, your take on John Carpenter, your take on the movie, your take on Roddy Piper. Nothing is off menu, so please drop a comment in the comment section below. I would be fascinated to hear your take on this action figure. So what have we got coming up on the channel? Well, we've got plenty more 1/6 scale figure reviews. We've got stuff from InArt, Hot Toys, Susu Toys, Present Toys, Caustic Plastic, X06, Iconic Studios, the list goes on. We've got more previews, we've got more showcases, more tours. We've just got more of everything coming up. So as I mentioned at the top there, be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell notification icon so you're not missing any of the 1/6 scale goodness we've got coming up. And I suppose all that remains for me to say, as always, a massive thank you for watching from myself, from John Carpenter. Take care of yourselves, and until next time on the channel, happy collecting, and it's over to the showcase.